Good evening. My name is Cade Ogle, and today I will be talking to you about theories in action, two ways to nurture success, exploring psychological theories to enhance motivation in education and beyond. So, today I'm going to be talking about various psychological theories and ways that will help you improve your motivation and changing your attitude. But before we do that, I'd like to first discuss what exactly is success and motivation. And so, motivation serves as the foundation for personal and professional success. According to Psychology Today, it is the driving force that compels individuals to pursue and achieve their goals, enabling them to overcome obstacles and reach their full potential. Following up on that, it's really important to understand motivation as a whole and what it does, why it's important, and what kind of theories we can use that really help out in the process. So, to start us off, motivation influences actions and decisions, and it is the driving force behind human behavior, impacting how we act and make decisions in various contexts, from personal goals to professional tasks. Basically, any kind of influence, motivation, wherever it may come from, it dictates our actions in every single thing we do in life. Some psychological theories, such as causal attribution and goal orientation theory, provide frameworks for understanding how motivation operates and how it can be harnessed to achieve success. And these are the two theories I'm mainly going to be talking about during this recording session because I found that these two were very useful in not only just my school life, but in my day to day life application as well. And finally, it also gives you a desire for change. Motivation often leads to a desire for personal growth, prompting individuals to change their behavior, habits, or environments to achieve their goals. Following up on this, the first theory that I'd really like to get into and talk about the importance and what it is and my own personal experience with it is causal attribution theory. Causal attribution theory, or CA theory for short, focuses on how individuals attribute their successes and failures to either internal or external factors. This understanding is crucial for recognizing the motivations behind behaviors and fostering a growth mindset. And what this basically means is that the theory is basically an individual attributing their actions or success or failure to either controllable, stable outcomes that are in our control, or on the flip side of that, equating our failures or successes to uncontrollable, unstable outcomes that are beyond your control. And this goes on for anything in our life, whether it be maybe you didn't pass a test because you were feeling sick that day, or you feel that you're good at sports because you're naturally good at them. These are all attributions that can be put into causal attribution theory. Now that we've thoroughly explained what causal attribution theory is and what it's about, we need to go ahead and talk about why it's important. And there are various reasons for that. The first one being that it provides reasons behind behavior. Causal attribution theory allows individuals to understand the reasons behind their success and failures, fostering personal responsibility and growth. By recognizing what influences their actions, individuals can develop a stronger sense of agency in their lives. And this basically just means that it allows you to take stock of yourself and to understand what you need to do to fix the problems you're having, which is always a great thing. The next one is that it offers insight into specific behaviors. This theory offers a framework for individuals to analyze specific behaviors and their outcomes. By identifying whether their attributions are internal or external, they can modify their approach to future challenges effectively. This basically means that they can take a look at what their problems are and are they primarily external or internal, and it modifies the way that they handle or approach challenges in the future with this new mindset. And this next one is probably the most important for me whenever I would work, is that it helps anticipate a child's mindset. Understanding how children attribute their success or failures can help educators and parents anticipate behaviors. This insight allows for tailored support that addresses the unique needs and motivations of each child. And I have my own personal story of involving this specific mindset that I would like to share with you. This specific story is about a student that we will call Student J. Student J had a routine of constantly coming into class very angry, with a bad attitude, not willing to do any work, just overall rude to other students and teachers, and just not really willing to do any of the work, saying that it's because he's in a bad mood and that he can't do anything. And this made me initially remember that I had recently read research talking about how children who did not have breakfast in a regular routine schedule showed to have lower scores compared to those who did. So I thought that it would be a good idea to maybe add that to his routine, as student J could just be attributing his bad behavior to an uncontrollable outcome for him personally, which is not being able to have breakfast. So changing this into a controllable outcome for him would allow him to change his behavior and outlook on other things. When this turned out to be a large success, I thought about other things that he struggled with, such as feeling that work was too overwhelming for him, which caused me to then make it feel more controllable for him. So I gave him less work and segmented it so that it feels less daunting for him. And these two really changed his outlook on certain how to tackle problems, and it really helped him overall in the future. And so that is a great example of causal attribution theory in work and how it affects the lives of students and how we can use that to help them get better in life. The next theory that I would like to talk about in detail is goal orientation theory, or GO theory. And this one delves into the motivations that drive individuals to pursue their goals, distinguishing between different approaches to achievement. It categorizes goal orientation into performance-based and mastery-based, highlighting how these motivations influence behavior, learning, and success. What this basically means is that the reason people do anything in life can be boiled down to four separate things: performance approach, performance avoidance, mastery approach, mastery avoidance, which these all can be boiled down to: do you want to do something to improve others, improve yourself, avoid embarrassing your others, or avoid improving yourself? So the first one is performance approach. The performance approach orientation drives individuals to enhance their skills in order to demonstrate their capabilities and competence to others. This motivation fosters confidence and encourages continuous improvement in various activities. And what this basically is whenever you or anyone around you is wanting to do something just to show off that to others that they have the ability to do that. Whether it be maybe you want to run a race just to show you're faster than everybody else. This is what performance approach means. The next one is performance avoidance. This one is basically the idea that you want to not do something because you are scared you're going to embarrass yourself in front of other people. So performance avoidance orientation is characterized by a fear of failure or embarrassment. Individuals with this mindset may avoid challenges due to the perception that they might not perform well, leading to a lack of engagement and missed opportunities for growth. And this right here particularly was a struggle for me with a student that I had that I will get into later. The next one is mastery approach. This approach is much different than the others we had just talked about, whereas rather than trying to do something in order to look impressive to other people, this is now for those who have the orientation of wanting to master a skill and get better at it themselves. So mastery approach is those with a mastery approach orientation have a strong desire to understand and master new skills and concepts. They are motivated by the learning process itself and measure success by their own improvement rather than the comparison of others. And our final one, mastery avoidance. Mastery avoidance orientation occurs when individuals are concerned about losing their acquired skills or failing to maintain their performance level. This fear can prevent them from taking risks or pursuing new challenges, as they may prioritize maintaining their current status over growth. And this is probably the most common with people in their day-to-day lives, is they feel they are good at something and they will never get better than where they are at, so they do not try. And it's important to understand that this is not the case. Now that we've understood these, we need to talk about why it is important for us to use this theory. And the first one is understanding the motivations behind our actions. So, goal orientation theory provides insights into an underlying motivation that drives an individual's actions, allowing educators and leaders to tailor their approaches to foster growth and improvement. And to follow up with that, is it helps you identify motivators for change. By identifying whether individuals are motivated by performance or mastery, we can better support their learning experiences to help them overcome fears or obstacles that hinder their progress, which basically means that this is a great way for us to learn why people are motivated certain ways. And after we've learned that, we can figure out what is the best way to motivate these individuals and to better help them in their struggle individually. Which follows me up to a personal story here about Student K. Student K was a special case because it is one of the ones where I had applied something that just did not work, and I had to reapply and go back to the drawing board for working with him. So, when first working with Student K, he showed a complete and utter disregard for any kind of work. He didn't want to do anything. He did not want to come up and try any kind of work. And he overall was just not willing to do anything. And I had at first attributed this to maybe he just was lazy or just didn't feel like doing it or really just wasn't into it. And so I tried to implement the idea of consequences for not doing the work, which proved to not work at all, as he showed that he was more than willing to do any kind of consequences as long as he did not have to come and do his work. Which eventually he came to explain to me that he did not want to do this work because he was afraid of embarrassing himself in front of his friends, which allowed me to think back on goal orientation theory and realize that Caden had a performance avoidance orientation. And once I realized this, I remembered reading back on some research that showed that students who were given proper guidance and support from a figure who they considered good or respected a lot, then they were more likely to put themselves out there and to try new things. And this came in the form of Student K's mom. I had her come and give him support and give him more positive language and talk about how proud he is. And this eventually gave him a better mindset and more confidence, which allowed him to excel better in school, which then gave him even more confidence to go from a performance avoidance to a performance approach type of style, where he would actually go up first because he wanted to, and I quote, show off that he is a genius to his other classmates, which was really good to see that sort of shift in behavior and outlook and really help him come into himself and thrive in the classroom. Now, in conclusion, for applying theories in life and work, the application of causal attribution theory and goal orientation theory transcends educational settings, as you can use any of these theories outside the classroom, in your own personal life, or anywhere you go. By understanding how these theories influence motivation, individuals can create supportive environments in both personal and professional contexts, fostering growth and development. And I really hope you have taken some of these theories to heart and will implement them in not just your daily life, but your professional life as well, because this works in any workspace, any context. And I truly hope that you've taken something from this lesson and will use it in your own life. Here are some additional sources where I got my research to develop some of these theories and get the ideas that I had. And I would like to thank you for listening to me, Cade Ogle, in going through Theories in Action, 2 Ways to Nurture Success, exploring psychological theories to enhance motivation in education and beyond. Thank you.